I'm really happy to welcome Rob Stevens, who has done many UK UPA talks in the past, on behalf of Bunnyfoot.
Okay, what you absolutely positively need, I must have been feeling confident that day, EyeTracking for user testing. September the 21st, 2006, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit to then. I gave a talk at the UPA London at LBI back then about PEEP, Post-Experience Eye-Track Protocol. Were any of you there at that talk? Some of you were. Excellent stuff, great stuff. Well, since September the 21st, 2006, 972 days have passed, and EyeTracking is not accepted as, by some elements of the usability community as a good technique. In fact, Jared twittered only a couple of weeks ago, PEEP is a voodoo technique in my humble opinion, which did make me laugh partially. EyeTracking is still new, in the same way that when this car was made, driving was still new. It was made in the 50s. At that time, there were no laws for drink driving. There were no laws for speeding in the UK. In fact, it was one of these cars is the reason that we have a speeding law in the UK, because somebody got caught doing 120 up the motorway. Parliament said this is not good. We need a framework, we need agreement about what's acceptable behaviour. When this car was built, there were no safety belts. But what I want you to do is I want you to look forward into the future a little bit. Because I accept that today EyeTracking is not brilliant. Because the technology will get there, just in the same way that cars got there. But it is going to take a bit of time to get these frameworks and these agreements in place, these methodologies worked out. So the reasons that I believe we need EyeTracking are threefold: better user tests, optimization, and engaging stakeholders. We believe that you can do better usability tests with EyeTracking. Now, I alluded to it before, 2006, September 21st. I gave a talk to the UPA, some of you were here, on post-experience Eye-Track Protocol, where I spent about 45-50 minutes talking about the methodology that we've developed and why we thought it was a good idea. And I'm going to do the same thing again, because you obviously didn't listen. Actually, I'm not. I'm just going to go quick skip through a couple of the ideas. One of the most important things about using EyeTracking is this idea that we spend a lot of our lives living in the subconscious. Now, most all of you don't work at Westbourne, so it was an effort to get here today. But when you commute to work normally, it's not an effort. You understand where things are, which bus to catch. Now, I'm not the only person that thinks this.
The middle level of processing is the behavioral level, and that's actually where most of our stuff gets done. Visceral is subconscious, you're unaware of it. Behavioral is subconscious, you're unaware of it. Almost everything we do is subconscious. I'm walking around the stage, I am not attending to the control of my legs. I'm doing a lot. Most of my talk is subconscious. It's been rehearsed and thought about a lot. Most of it, what we do is subconscious. Automatic behavior, skilled behavior is subconscious.
So, for those of you who don't know, that was one of Cara's employees, Don Norman. Okay, so let's have a quick look at this subconscious processing happening in somebody who's very skilled at it. And we got a fantastic girl. Dennis Bergkamp making lots and lots of subconscious predictions about what's going to happen with that ball, what's going to happen with the defender, with the goal assist, to score an excellent goal there. I'm just going to come back to that in a few moments. So, it came to me doing usability testing with EyeTracking many years ago that using Think Now protocol is maybe not optimal. And I wasn't the first person to come up with this idea. Bristow did quite a lot of experiments back in the late 80s. And he said thinking loud can interfere with primary tasks by increasing the attentional demand so as to change normal strategies. Barry Broadbent said this. And slightly more interesting, Nielsen said Many users find thinking aloud difficult and it makes them feel uncomfortable. So I wasn't the first person to come up with this. So, to be slightly flamboyant, let's do this as a talk aloud usability test. Oh, Dennis, can I just stop you there? Would you mind? Because I noticed that you picked up the ball with your left foot, and I know that you're right-footed. So could you explain to me why you did that? You get the point. I'm over-emphasising here for effect, but the point is that to use the Think Aloud protocol, we ask people to stop living in the subconscious world that they live in on a day-to-day basis. We ask them to think about what they're doing, when the reality is they rarely think about what they're doing.